Part 221. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2201. Chapter 2201. At this moment, she is enviable. The eldest lady of the Shen family is so charming, she has charmed Mr. Chen like this. Shenro stole the show now. In comparison, I think Xiao Mian seems to have lost to her. Mo Yesi is willing to spend money for Xiao Mian. How come he didn't get even a cent at the auction? Ah! All women like this set of jewelry. Why didn't he take a picture of it for Xiao Mian? Maybe he thought it was too expensive and didn't want to spend the money. Yeah, it's so strange. How come Mo Yesi couldn't bear to take a photo of the set of jewelry for Xiao Mian? Don't they all say that Mo Yesi loves her very much? Are they all false? Shenro heard the sounds around her. She raised her head and looked at Mo Yesi, who had been silent and motionless in front of her. She suddenly felt a little happy and much more comfortable. Listening to those envious voices, she couldn't help showing a bit of pride in her eyebrows. At this moment, she seemed to have returned to the past. Back to the time when she was still glorious. No matter what, at this moment, she defeated Xiao Mian. Thinking of this, the corners of Shenro's lips slightly raised, and her chin was raised high. At this moment, her face looked like a peacock competing for beauty, with eyes full of pride. 25 million. Someone has already offered 25 million. Is there a higher price? The auctioneer on the stage also said a little excitedly. Is there any higher price than 25 million, the bidding price? The noble lady gave up immediately when she heard the price quoted by the man. Handled out of bidding. No one else intends to participate in the bidding. Although this set of jewelry has collectible value, not many people are willing to spend more than 20 million to buy a set of jewelry. Women are generally reluctant to part with them. Men are more willing to use the money to auction some things that they are more interested in. Is there any higher bid than 25 million? On the stage, the auctioneer looked around the audience and asked loudly again. The audience was speechless for a moment. The man participating in the auction looked at the set of jewelry on the stage as if he had already acquired it, and there was a bit of pride in his eyebrows. Although the price makes him feel a little pained, if he can win the heart of a beautiful woman with this set of jewelry, it will be worth it. If he can marry Shenro, his future rewards will be more than these 25 million. Shenro is now the CEO of the Shen family. By marrying Shenro, it is equivalent to holding the Shen family in his hands. Although the man was confused by Shenro's appearance, he also calculated the interests clearly and decided to take the photo of the set of jewelry. Is there no higher bid? 25 million once, 25 million twice, 25 million three. The auctioneer picked up the hammer and was about to make the final decision. Miss Shen, I will give you the set of jewelry that means lifelong loyalty. I hope Miss Shen. The man also turned his head and looked at Shenro affectionately, eager to express his admiration. Heart. The people around him looked at Shenro with envy. No matter what happens between Shen and Mo Yesi. At this moment, she is enviable. The man next to her spent so much money on a set of jewelry just to please her. This is not something every man can do. Shenro also raised her head and looked at the people around her with a smile, accepting the envious looks with some pride. 30 million. At the last moment, a voice suddenly appeared. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2202. Chapter 2202 suddenly got intercepted. Shenro and the man beside her froze at the same time. People around him also looked in the direction of the sound. In the front row, Mo Yesi held up the sign in his hand with a calm expression. Seeing Mo Yesi holding up the sign, Yan Shaoqing curled his lips, with an I knew it expression on his face, and said with a smile, "Second brother, I knew you were going to take action. But the timing of your action, you must have pinched it too hard, and if you had waited a second longer, this set of jewelry would have become someone else's. Mo Yesi, what are you doing? Chiao Mian reached out and pulled off his sleeve, winked at him, and said a little anxiously, didn't I tell you that I don't want this set of jewelry? Why do you still need to take pictures? She lowered her voice so that only the two of them could hear it. Mo Yesi lowered his head to look at her, don't you like it? Chiao Mian. She likes it, but she told him before that she just thinks it looks good and appreciates it. This prodigal son. This is 30 million, not 30,000. Take pictures if you like it. Mo Yesi stretched out his hand to rub her head and smiled fondly, besides, I don't want to be called a tough guy who doesn't give aid to the woman he loves. They say I'm nothing, but I'm not. Allow others to laugh at you. Others have always envied my woman, not my woman to envy other people's. Although Mo Yesi couldn't hear all of the discussion just now, he did hear some of it. As he said, he doesn't really care what others think of him. But he couldn't tolerate others laughing at Chiao Mian. Tall, really tall Yan Shaoqing gave Mo Yesi a thumbs up with an expression of admiration on his face. Second brother, I just realized that when you talk about love, you are even more disgusting than me. I'm impressed by your self-taught skills. Mo Yesi glared at him expressionlessly. 30 million, Mr. Mo paid a price of 30 million. Is there any price higher than this? The auctioneer's excited voice sounded again. Mo Yesi's unexpected move surprised everyone in the venue. All the women who were envious of Shenro just now turned their envious eyes to Chiao Mian. Who just said that Mo Yesi has nothing to lose. Let me just say, what President Mo is most in need of is money. How can he be reluctant to part with these tens of millions? Have you seen that Shenro's face seems to have turned green? She must be very angry. I originally thought that the set of jewelry was definitely hers, but suddenly someone cut off her beard. Do you think Mr. Chen will continue to follow? If he is unwilling to follow, wouldn't Shenro be embarrassed if the set of jewelry was photographed by Mo Yesi? Continue to follow me? Isn't that a shameful thing? In terms of money competition, who can beat the people of the Mo family? Then it depends on how much he values Shenro and whether he is willing to spend a lot of money to win this face for Shenro. Shenro never expected that Mo Yesi would come like this at the last moment. She was stunned for a while before she came back to her senses. The man next to her was obviously surprised, and he kept the same expression on his face for a while. Mo Yesi directly gave him a price of 30 million. That more than 20 million yuan has already made the man feel very sad. When the auctioneer on the stage repeatedly asked if there was a higher bid, he hesitated. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2203. Chapter 2203 has exceeded their expectations. It is true that he wants to pursue Shenro. However, the person bidding against him was Mo Yesi. He knew very well that no matter what, he would never be able to win over Mo Yesi. At this time, Shenro was already riding a tiger. Everyone knew that the man next to her wanted to take pictures of the set of jewelry on the stage and give it to her. If you suddenly stop shooting now, then what face does she have? Shenro turned her head and glanced at the man beside her. After seeing the other man's hesitation, she pretended to be considerate, sighed softly, and said, Mr. Chen, forget it. You are fighting for it, but let's give this set of jewelry to them. I don't want it anymore. I don't want Mr. Chen to make it so difficult for me. The man was still hesitant. His mind was aroused by her words, and he blurted out, Miss Shen likes it, and I will find a way to get it for you no matter what. Even if it means bankrupting my family, I will not hesitate. The man knew that Shenro still cared about Mo Yesi. What Shenro said just now meant that she felt that he was not as powerful as Mo Yesi. Although this is also true. No man can accept the woman he likes saying that he is worse than another man. So the more Shenro said this, the more he wanted to show it to her. If he can't even buy her a set of jewelry, what will Shenro think of him in the future? Does he still have a chance? But Mr. Chen, it's really too expensive. Shenro bit her lip, looking very unbearable. You don't need to spend so much on me. In fact, I don't really like this set of jewelry. Let's forget it. Bar. How can that be possible? The man frowned. I promised to give it to Miss Shen, how could I break my promise? Mr. Chen. Miss Shen, there is no need to persuade me anymore. Just wait, I will take pictures of the set of jewelry for you, the man said with great ambition. After finishing speaking, he excitedly raised the sign, 35 million. Wow, Mr. Chen, are you fighting for beauty? It seems that he is sincere towards Shenro. This is too much to give up. But, can he win the fight with Mo Yesi? It's a good show to watch. They are all taking pictures of jewelry to please the women around them, and it depends on who is willing to give it up more. Although Shenro couldn't be with Mo Yesi, she is very happy to have met a man who was so willing to spend money for her. 35 million, the auctioneer shouted excitedly, is there any higher bid than 35 million? The price of this set of jewelry at auction has exceeded their expectations. I thought I could get up to 30 million. Looking at the current situation, I'm afraid even 40 million won't be available. Whether it was the auctioneer on the stage or others sitting in the audience, they all had the mentality of watching a good show, waiting to see how high the price of the next auction would be. Who is the one who laughs last? After hearing the price, Mo Yesi smiled faintly, raised the sign in his hand again, and said in a calm voice, 50 million. There was a sound of gasping. He directly added 15 million. The man who was bidding against him froze again. But he looked at Shenro sitting next to him, gritted his teeth, and continued bidding, 55 million. The next thing that sounded was Mo Yesi's calm voice, 70 million. The face of the man bidding has turned the color of pig liver. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2204. Chapter 2204. Why do you have to have trouble with her? This was the first time he met someone like Mo Yesi who was bidding on something. It's really too willful. The man couldn't imagine how outrageous the price would be if he continued bidding. Even if he wanted to please Shenro, he couldn't continue to support this price. It was only at this time that he clearly realized how big the financial gap between him and Mo Yesi was. It's already 70 million, is there anyone who bids higher? The auctioneer was also very excited, and his tone became much higher. For a while, the whole place was silent for a few seconds. Is there anyone else offering a higher price? The auctioneer asked loudly again. Shenro clenched her fists and looked at the man beside her with an ugly expression. The man turned his head, unwilling to hold on any longer at this time, and said apologetically, sorry, Miss Shen. I really can't compete with Mr. Mo. I said I would give you the set of jewelry, but I broke my promise. I'm really sorry. If it were someone else, I could still argue. But as for Mr. Mo, I can't beat him no matter what. Miss Shen, I really tried my best. The man's voice dropped, a little frustrated. When Mo Yesi said the number 70 million, Shenro no longer counted on the man next to her. Because she could tell that Mo Yesi was going to order that set of jewelry. Who can win what Mo Yesi wants? So Shenro didn't blame the man next to her. It's just that she was still being envied a second ago. The next second, I lost face again in front of so many people. She doesn't understand. Why does Mo Yesi insist on having trouble with her? Why must she lose face again and again in public and become a joke to others? How could he do this to her? No, this was definitely not something he did on purpose. It must be Chiao Mian Mian. It was Chiao Mian Mian who asked him to do this. That didn't want her to steal the limelight, so she deliberately used this matter to make her look embarrassed. Mr. Chen, there is no need to blame yourself. This matter is not your fault. Chen Ro bit her lip and looked at the front row with hateful eyes. You really can't compete with Mo Yesi. Forget it, since if you want that set of jewelry, give it to them. Is there any price higher than 70 million? 70 million once, 70 million twice, 70 million three times. Deal. This set of Queen Elena's favorite jewelry belongs to Mr. Mo. The auctioneer made the final decision, and Mo Yesi finally bought the set of jewelry. Needless to say, Shen Ro's face was as ugly as it was ugly. Other people who had witnessed the wonderful bidding just now were discussing enthusiastically. I knew that if Mo Yesi took action, no one would be able to compete with him. He was actually willing to spend 70 million to take pictures of this set of jewelry. The Mo family's financial resources are too strong. Although the Chen family is also good, but really there's no way to compare with the Mo family. Fortunately, Mr. Chen knew himself and didn't follow him any further, otherwise, what would he do if he couldn't step down? Mo Yesi spent 70 million to take pictures of the set of jewelry and give it to Chiao Mian Mian, and it was equivalent to snatching it from Shen Ro. Shen Ro was probably furious. It was originally a matter of her being in the limelight, but now it has become he slapped her in the face. Shen Ro heard the comments around her, her teeth were deeply embedded in her lip flesh, and her face was burning as if someone had slapped her hard several times. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2205. Chapter 2205. Honey, our family is not short of money. Mo Yesi, are you crazy? At this moment, Chiao Mianmian's heart was bleeding. Mo Yesi spent 70 million to buy her a set of jewelry. All the women in the venue were looking at her with envy. But Chiao Mian herself did not feel pleased. In addition to the physical pain, she also suffered from physical pain. She felt that Mo Yesi must be crazy. He is a prodigal. 70 million. Even if Chiao Mian is rich now, she still thinks 70 million is a huge number. If she spent 70 million to buy a villa, she would think it was worth it. But spending 70 million to buy a set of jewelry, Chiao Mian felt that it was not worth it. Even though she likes that set of jewelry very much, she herself was reluctant to spend so much money to buy it. Mo Yesi lowered his eyes and looked at her. Baby, what's wrong? Why did you spend so much money to take pictures of that set of jewelry? Mo Yesi, it's too expensive. You shouldn't have spent so much money to take pictures, Chiao Mian said, still feeling aching. After all, she is now married to Mo Yesi. Mo Yesi's money is her money. No matter how expensive the things you like are, you deserve to have them. Mo Yesi looked at the pained expression on her face, hooked his lips, reached out and rubbed her head. Baby, our family is not short of money. Just buy whatever you like, without worrying about money. Your husband's biggest motivation for making money is to spend it on you. If you can't bear to spend it, then what's the point of me making money, let alone 70 million, just 700 million? As long as I can make you happy, I think it's worth it. Yan Shaoqing on the side listened dumbly to Mo Yesi's words. He looked at Mo Yesi's expression as if he had met Mo Yesi for the first time. He felt that he really didn't understand Mo Yesi well enough. The Mo Yesi he knew, was he so good at talking about love? Moreover, when it comes to love words, they always do the same thing. This coaxing of women is even better than that of a man who is known as a master in love. Yan Shaoqing then thought, fortunately, Mo Yesi was different from them. Before Chiao Mian appeared, he had not been with women for more than 20 years. Otherwise, wouldn't all those beauties be taken away by Mo Yesi? Asterisk. Shenro left the table early. After Mo Yesi took the photo of the set of jewelry, she left. She felt that she had lost face and had become a joke in everyone's eyes. She had no shame in staying at the party. She didn't want to see how loving Chiao Mian and Mo Yesi were anymore. She was afraid that she would not be able to control her temper and do something irrational. After an hour. Shenzai. After Shenro got out of the car and walked into the hall, she heard laughter coming from the car. She raised her head and saw Shen Xian sitting next to Shen's mother. Shen's mother was holding her hand. She didn't know what she was saying, but her eyes were very loving. The maid in the hall saw Shenro and called out respectfully, "Miss Rura, you are back." Mother Shen waved to Shenro and said with a smile, "What a coincidence, your sister got home 10 minutes earlier than you. She just asked me where you were, and then you came back. Didn't you go to the banquet? Why are you back so soon?" Shenro did not answer her words, but looked down at Shen Xian. Seeing her sister come back, Shenro didn't see any happiness in her eyes, and the look between her eyebrows was very cold. Especially when seeing Shen Xian's pure and sweet face, the expression between her eyebrows became colder. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2206. Chapter 2206. How can you be like that bitch? Because she actually saw the shadow of that Jiao Mian in Shen Xian. How could her sister, Shenro, be like that bitch? Shenro was very dissatisfied that during the time when the Shen family's accident happened, the Shen family put all the burdens on her alone and let her bear it alone. As for Shen Xian, she didn't have to do anything. The reason given by Shen's father and Shen's mother was that Shen Xian was still young. But this reason cannot be accepted by Shenro. In her eyes, Shen's father and Shen's mother were partial to Shen Xian. In addition, she knew about Shen Xian and Qiao Chen, and because of her hatred for Chiao Mian, she also hated Qiao Chen. The person she doesn't like is the boy her sister likes. Of course Shenro couldn't accept it. Because of this incident, Shenro had a problem with Shen Xian. Sister Shen Xian saw Shenro looking at her and called out softly. Shenro nodded and responded lightly, "Yes." Then, nothing more was said. Shen's mother was a little dissatisfied with her attitude, but she didn't dare to say anything to her. The reason why Shen was able to weather the storm and was saved from the brink of bankruptcy was because Shenro secured an investment. After that, Shen had several other business deals, all of which were negotiated by Shenro. That's why Shen's father decided to hand over the Shen family to Shenro. Now, Shenro has become the one in charge of the Shen family. Even if she is her own daughter, Shen's mother has to think carefully about what she says and does. Rura, go upstairs and change your clothes. By the way, have you had dinner? If not, come down later and I will make a midnight snack for you and your sister. Do you want mom to cook by yourself? Shenro asked. Shen's mother smiled, nodded, and said, I'll cook noodles for you and your sister. Do you want to eat? Shenro also smiled and said, then I want to take advantage of Zioxin. Zioxin, do you know that usually my mother never cooks, and only when you come home can she cook by herself? It's time for a meal. Look, mom loves you so much. After Shenro said this, the hall became quiet for a moment. For 4 or 5 seconds, the expression on Mother Shen's face was stiff. Rura, it depends on what you said. If you want to eat the food cooked by mom, just tell me and mom will cook it for you anytime. The expression on Mrs. Shen's face was still a little embarrassed. Shenro curled her lower lip and smiled lightly. There is a servant chef at home, how can I let my mother cook? Besides, if you ask for something yourself, the nature of it will change. I'm not hungry, just cook a midnight snack for Xioxin, don't worry about me. After saying this, Shenro turned around and walked upstairs. Here, Xioxin, your sister. Mother Shen's eyes showed grievance, as if she was hurt by Shenro's words just now. What's wrong with your sister? Mother Shen's eyes were a little wet, she stretched out her hand to wipe the corners of her eyes, and choked softly, did I say something wrong? I seem to have made her angry. Mom, it has nothing to do with you. Shen Xian bit her lip, knowing very well why Shenro was really unhappy. Maybe my sister encountered something unhappy at the banquet, so she came back early. Mom, wait a moment, I'll go upstairs to see my sister. Well, that's probably the case. Then go take a look upstairs quickly and ask her what happened. Mother Shen said and sighed, your sister doesn't seem to be in a very good mood these days. Okay. If I had known earlier, I shouldn't have taken her to Gong's house that day. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2207. Chapter 2207. He said he has someone he likes. Going to Gong's house, Shen Xian was stunned. Why are you taking your sister to Gong's house? Mother Shen was silent for a moment, then said, the Gong family had intended to marry our Shen family before. I thought your sister and the child from the Gong family have known each other since they were young, and the two families knew each other well, and the child from the Gong family has liked you since he was a child. Sister, if your sister marries him, she will not suffer any injustice. If the marriage between the two families can be successful, it will be beneficial to both the Gong family and the Shen family. I also asked your sister what she meant, and she agreed. I never thought. Thinking of what happened that day, Mother Shen's face turned a little ugly. Shen Xian was stunned for a few seconds. She didn't know about it. However, she knew that Gong Zili liked her sister and had liked her for many years. Unfortunately, the person her sister likes is Mo Yesi. What happened that day? Shen Xian asked curiously. Mother Shen nodded, her face darkened, and said, I thought this matter was a sure thing. But I didn't expect that your sister agreed, but Gong Zili was still unwilling. You didn't know that he rejected your sister that day. It's so disrespectful to refuse. You are simply not showing any face to our Shen family. Not to mention your sister, I am so angry that I am dying. What is happening to our Shen family now? Is Rura not good enough for him? Is it possible for Gong Zi to leave? Rura didn't. It's okay to think that he's sick, but he actually puts on a show. Shen Xian was extremely surprised. Brother Zili rejected my sister? How is this possible? Doesn't he like my sister very much and always wanted to marry her? Yes, he has always shown that he likes your sister very much. We all thought that he likes Rura very much. That's why the two families have this intention. Who knows? Mother Shen said angrily, what did he say, that he had a crush? Haha, I don't believe there is a better woman than Rura. He will regret it sooner or later. Shen Xian was really surprised after hearing what Shen's mother said. She was also surprised that Gong Zili would actually reject Shenro. Speaking of the fact that the Shen family had encountered difficulties before, Shen Xian could still understand that Gong Zili was unwilling to marry Shenro out of consideration for the interests of the Gong family. After all, love cannot be eaten as food. A family like theirs is primarily profit-oriented. But now, the Shen family is out of trouble. Furthermore, according to Shen's mother's wishes, it was the Gong family who took the initiative to propose a marriage with the Shen family. Then why did Gong Zili refuse? Brother Zili likes his sister, and he must be willing to marry her. If he refuses, there must be some unavoidable reason, Shen Xian said. What a last resort. Mother Shen disagreed, he just changed his mind and fell in love with another woman. I want to see what kind of woman he likes in the future. Mom, don't be angry. Shen Xian reached out and patted Mother Shen's chest gently, comforting her softly. Sister is so good, she will definitely find me a good brother-in-law in the future. In fact, I think Gong it's a good thing that my family refused. A good thing. Well, I think Zili's brother's personality is not very compatible with his sister's. If they really get together, they may not be happy. That's true. My daughter is so good that she doesn't have to worry about getting married anytime. I'd better ask my sister. Shen Xian said, stood up and said, Mom, I will come down to accompany you in a while. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2208. Chapter 2208. Are you still in contact with Jiao Chen now? Asterisk. Shen Xian arrived upstairs and stood outside Shenrou's room for a while before reaching out and knocking lightly on the door. Who? Sister, it's me. Can I come in? The people in the room were silent for a while before they said, well, come in. Shen Xian opened the door and entered Shenrou's bedroom. Shenrou has already changed out of her skirt. She is wearing a purple silk nightgown and is sitting in front of the dressing table removing her makeup. Sister. Shen Xian walked behind her and stopped. Shenrou didn't look back, and said in a calm voice, are you up here for something? Shen Xian felt a little uncomfortable listening to her cold voice. Actually, she had already felt that Shenrou had a problem with her. Although her sister had not been very doting on her since she was a child, Shenrou in the past was generally very good to her. It was never as cold and distant as it is now. Shen Xian's attitude toward her changed probably after she learned about her affair with Jiao Chen. Later, something happened to the Shen family. Because she spoke for Jiao Mian and her brother, Shenrou felt that her elbows were turned outward. Well, sister, Mom doesn't trust you, so she asked me to come up and take a look. Mom, don't you trust me? Shenrou was taking off her eye makeup. She finished removing the makeup on one eye, threw the dirty cotton pad on the table, turned her head, and gently raised her red lips in a slightly mocking arc. Little Xian, do you know that you are not good at lying? Because when you lie, the expression on your face will change. Others may not be able to tell, but we have lived together for more than 10 years. The expression on Shen Xian's face froze. Sister, Mom is really worried about you. Why do you think I'm lying? Oh, worried about me? When will she worry about me? If she has to worry, just worry about you. After all, you are her precious daughter. Her words put Shen Xian in a very embarrassing position. Sister, why do you say that? Mom loves you very much. It hurts me. But compared with her precious daughter, it doesn't hurt that much. When Shenrou thought about the incident in the Shen family, Shen's father and Shen's mother forced her to go on a blind date with those stinky men, she complained. No. Shen Xian bit her lip, not knowing what to say. After Shenrou complained, she raised her head and looked at her. Looking at her bewildered little face, she somehow thought of Jiao Mian again. The same goes for that bitch. Having a face that easily confuses men, she also pretends to be pure and innocent. In front of men, put on an innocent and harmless face. It's obvious at a glance that she is a scheming bitch. It just so happened that so many men took the bait. This kind of person is a born vixen. As Shenrou looked at it, she felt a little angry and her eyes became fierce. Shen Xian's heart thumped when she met her suddenly stern gaze. She was a little scared to see Shenrou like this. She felt that Shenrou had indeed changed. The person in front of her was her half-sister, but at this moment, Shen Xian only felt strange. Xiao Xian. Shenrou suddenly called Shen Xian and said in a cold voice, are you still in contact with Jiao Chen? Hearing her suddenly mention Jiao Chen, A trace of panic flashed in Shen Xian's eyes. Shenro saw her reaction in her eyes became colder, and she said with anger, "You are still in contact with Jiao Chen, aren't you? Didn't I tell you that you are not allowed to contact him again in the future? Yeah, didn't you hear it?" End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2209. Chapter 2209. None of the men in the Mo family are good. Sister, I'm not. Shen Xian hurriedly wanted to explain. Xiao Xian, you should be very clear about how the Mo family treated our Shen family before, right? Jiao Chen is now the young master of the Mo family, and he is from the Mo family. The people of the Mo family are our enemies, and you are still in contact with an enemy. Zioxin, how can you deserve your surname Shen? Shen Xian knew not to anger Shenro at this time. But when Shenro said this, she couldn't help but defend Jiao Chen. Sister, the Mo family has never helped our Shen family. But this matter cannot be blamed on Jiao Chen. He is just a member of the Mo family. A junior, and he has just been recognized. Even if he wants to help, he is powerless. Humph, Shenro sneered, so what? As long as he is from the Mo family, he is the enemy of our Shen family. You are not allowed to associate with him in the future. Shen Xian felt extremely strange looking at Shenro like this. Sister, I actually have no contact with Jiao Chen for a long time. I have already left Yunchinj, and I will not have much contact with him in the future. However, Jiao Chen is not my enemy, and he has never done anything to feel sorry for me. Matter. I won't blame him for the Mo family's refusal to help. Even though she knew that Shenro would definitely be angry, Shen Xian still said this. Sure enough, as soon as she finished speaking, Shenro's expression suddenly dropped. So, you are unwilling to listen to me? Are you going to continue to associate with Jiao Chen? Shen Xian thought for a while and said seriously to Shenro, Sister, I am not a child anymore. You should stop treating me like a child. I know how to deal with my relationship with Jiao Chen. Chen Xian, Shenro's face turned dark. I will never allow you to interact with Jiao Chen again. Just listen to me. I am the master of the Shen family now. If you don't obey me, I will stop for all your additional cards. You will never get a penny from me again. Shen Xian was stunned. She raised her head and looked at Shenro in disbelief. Shenro was also strong in the past. But it's not that strong yet. You can associate with any other boys, but not Jiao Chen. Shenro gritted her teeth and said, if you still recognize me as your sister, then listen to me. Sister, why? Is it just because Jiao Chen is a member of the Jiao family? Shen Xian hesitated for a few seconds before finally speaking out, the real reason is because of Jiao Chen's sister. Because Jiao Chen's sister and Ye brother Si is together, but you don't like his sister, so you don't even like Jiao Chen. For a moment, Shenro's face turned extremely ugly. She glared at Shen Xian angrily. No man in the Mo family is good. Do you think that Jiao Chen is good? Everything I do now is for your own good. You are still young and ignorant, and you can be easily deceived by them. Do you think I'm harming you? Sister, I know you do it for my own good, but... Then just listen to me. Shenro didn't let her finish her sentence and interrupted her forcefully. Asterisk. Coming out of Shenro's room, Shen Xian stood at the door in a daze for a while. Shenro firmly opposed any contact between her and Jiao Chen, even threatening her by cutting off her financial resources. This is the first time that Shenro has been so forceful with her. When Shen Xian came back this time, she felt that Shenro had changed a lot and had become strange to her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2210. Chapter 2210. Should I help him? No wonder even Shen's mother said that Shenro had changed. Shen Xian has no doubt that Shenro can really do those things. The Shenro now is no longer the same person as before. Asterisk. Chiao Mian and Mo Yesi also left the banquet early. In the car, Mo Yesi thought of some things he had seen before and asked her, "What happened to your brother?" Huh? Chiao Mian looked at him doubtfully. Mo Yesi hugged her, stretched out his hand to fiddle with the diamond earrings on her earlobes, and said with a smile, "I saw him flirting with a girl. They seemed to have a special relationship." "You saw it too?" Chiao Mian asked in surprise. "Huh? So you also saw him flirting with that girl?" "Yeah." Chiao Mian nodded, "I saw it." "Do you know that girl?" "I don't know. My brother said that he and that girl are old acquaintances. The girl's name is Gu Sheng. She was abroad before and recently returned to China. Originally, I wanted to ask you what the relationship between that girl and my brother is. It turns out you don't know either." Gu Sheng, Mo Yesi thought for a moment, then said, "This name sounds familiar to me. I remembered that she and your brother are indeed old acquaintances." "Do you know her?" Chiao Mian immediately asked curiously, "Are she and my brother just ordinary friends?" "Of course not. Bai Yusheng doesn't try to get along with ordinary friends like that." "Then they?" "It's a friend, but a close friend. She used to be your brother's student." "What? Has my brother ever been a teacher?" Chiao Mian was very surprised. "He worked as a visiting professor at an art school for a year. Gu Sheng is from that school. This is how your brother and she met." Mo Yesi thought of something and smiled. "Why are you laughing? There were some rumors about that art school back then. Do you want to know what the rumors were?" Chiao Mian's eyes were filled with gossip, and she immediately nodded and said, "I think." Mo Yesi thought for a while and said, "Back then, there were rumors that your brother and teacher Gu Sheng were in love, but the rumors were later refuted." Chiao Mian. Teachers and students love. Originally I thought it was a rumor, but now it seems that's not necessarily the case. You mean? I've never seen Bai Yusheng fighting with any woman like that. Mo Yesi only said this. Chiao Mian understood. "Do you think I like that Gu Sheng?" "It's not necessarily that I like them, but I definitely don't just treat them as friends." Chiao Mian said nothing. She actually discovered it too. However, Bai Yusheng refuses to admit it, so what can she do? Moreover, Chiao Mian felt that the reason why Bai Yusheng didn't admit it was because he probably didn't realize it himself. Just like she had actually fallen in love with Mo Yesi for a long time, but she only discovered it belatedly. "But, my brother said that he thinks Gu Sheng is his sister." Chiao Mian bit her lip and sighed, "Do you think he didn't realize that he fell in love with her? If that's the case, shouldn't you help him?" She was really afraid that her slow brother would miss out on a good marriage. "It's not impossible what you said. However, I think it's better to let him handle this kind of thing by himself, so we shouldn't interfere too much. Honey, your brother is already 30 years old, and men of this age are already very mature in dealing with things. He knows how to do it." End of this chapter.